Why read great books? It broadens your world. I got one message in those first 3 to 5 years as an early Christian. Here's the message I got. God uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things. You know how you get that? By reading great books. These aren't made-up stories. These aren't fairy tales. And, ask yourself how much of the media is going into your heart and into your mind over and over and over, whether it's or talk radio, or whether it's this program or that program, or the DVDs or the rented movies, and all the junk that's constantly bombarding you, and you're trying to be a spiritual fish swimming upstream to be godly. Ask yourself how much of great books are going into your mind. Read great books. First, books that broaden your world. Second, read great books that sharpen your mind. There's another book on the attributes of God that became of the Holy, and then I went to J.I. Packer. It's a classic book, Knowing God. Those two books just shaped my view of who God was. And then I was on another basketball team. You can tell I kind of like basketball. If you like basketball stories, it's going to be a great morning. If you don't, I have other stories for later. But I was on a basketball team with a pre-med student from Minnesota, and we were traveling throughout South America, and I came to Christ, but I didn't have any background. And so I was going into grad school, and grad school at a secular place is not like a warm, loving, non-hostile environment for believers. And as people were challenging my thinking, I knew what God had done in me, but I did not have good intellectual answers for the very strong intellectual questions. And so I'll never forget this pre-med student. He introduced me to Francis Schaeffer. Anybody here familiar with Francis Schaeffer and his work? Yeah. And so he said, read his trilogy first. His work, he has 3 books. I put them there. You have the He is There and He's Not Silent, Escape from Reason, and The God Who Was There. And they are fairly philosophical, and he has his own kind of lingo, and he makes up a few words. And the very first book I read, He is There and He's Not Silent, And I say to myself,